Welcome to Emory United Methodist Church Third Thursday program. I'm Wendy Figge and I'm a certified lay minister, and I'm happy to have this as one of my ministries. Take a moment right now to join us in the chat. Tell us what you had for dinner, or if this is the middle of the day for you, what you had for lunch, and press enter. A little box should pop up and it asks you for a nickname. Create a nickname and press enter again and join us in the chat. Our theme for tonight is called Finding God. A cousin of mine evidently spends all of her time on the internet, and she sends me cute pictures and videos which I enjoy. And the one she sent fairly recently was called Twinkies with God. And I look forward to sharing this video with you and then discussing it afterwards in the Zoom, which will follow this particular meeting. But before we get to the message, I'd like to share with you a song that Pastor Sam and the band did this spring. And the song was made popular by Cat Stevens. It's a hymn in our hymnal, and it's called Morning Has Broken.
First morning, blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the world. Rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where his feet pass. The sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, Eden saw play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day. Has broken like the first morning, blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the world.
As I reflect on the hymn, Morning Has Broken, I think about God's creation and how big God is. I think we try to picture God as a big man on a throne with a white beard. But we are not supposed to have a graven image of God. That's one of the 10 Commandments. So, who is God? Or, a better question is, what is God? My message is called Finding God, and as I thought about the video that my cousin sent me, a George Strait song called I Saw God Today comes to mind. The song is written by a new father who has spent 18 hours by his wife and finally holds his baby daughter. As he looks into her face, he comments, "I saw God today." And these are the words to his song. Just walked down the street to the coffee shop. Had to take a break. I've been by her side for 18 hours straight. Saw a flower growing up in the middle of the sidewalk, pushing up through the concrete like it was planted right there for me to see. The flashing lights, the honking horns, all seemed to fade away in the shadow of the hospital. At 5:08, I saw God today. His fingerprints are everywhere. I just looked down to stop and stare, opened my eyes, and then I swear I saw God today. Saw a couple walking by. They were holding hands, and she had that glow. Yeah, I couldn't help but notice she was starting to show. Stood there for a minute, taking in the sky, lost in that sunset. A flash, a splash of amber melted into shades of red. Got my face pressed up against the nursery glass. She's sleeping like a rock. My name on her wrist, wearing tiny pink socks. She's got my nose. She's got her mama's eyes. My brand new baby girl. She's a miracle. I saw God today. So what does God look like? The face of the man's straining wife in labor? A flower in the sidewalk cracks, busy street lights and flashing lights, another couple who is pregnant, the sunset, the face of his baby daughter. All of these are possibilities, and this leads me to the video that my cousin sent me.
Now, where are you off to?
I'm going to find God.
Ah, I see. Well, dinner's at 6. Don't be late. Thank you.
You're welcome. He was like, no! Here you go.
Thank you.
Yellow broccoli.
Oh.
Gotta go.
So did you find him?
God is a woman, Mom. And she has the most beautiful smile I've ever seen.
Why are you in such a good mood?
I just ate Twinkies in the park with God. He's much younger than I expected.
After I got over my surprise of such a young boy riding a subway to the park, and he's unaccompanied, I concentrated on the message. The mom doesn't really believe that her son is going to find God. Didn't you get that impression? Possibly that was family code for I'm going to the park. But maybe she thought he was just going for a walk in the neighborhood. But regardless, I get the impression that the mom doesn't believe he's really going to find God. And she responds by saying, "Oh, just be home by 6. And when her son returns, don't you love the mother's response? And she says, "Well, did you find him?" And he looks at her matter-of-factly and says, "Mom, God is a woman." And she has the most beautiful smile. The next part of the video is very interesting. The first homeless woman, who is full of smiles, walks over to a second homeless woman who's pretty much frowning. And the second woman asks the first woman, "Well, why are you smiling?" And the first woman says, "I just had Twinkies with God. And he's a lot younger than I thought he would be." We never know when we are going to meet God. And God can take many forms. In the George Strait song, God was the flower pushing up between the sidewalk cracks. God was the little baby girl that he held in his arms. In the video, God was first the homeless woman. And then later, God was the little boy. For me, I have cradled an azalea bud in my hand saying, "This is God." Or I've looked up at the mist coming in the morning, seeing the rays come between the leaves of the trees and saying, "That's God." God is the policewoman who saw the man in the wheelchair stuck on the railroad tracks, and she ran and she grabbed him and pulled him off the railroad tracks. God was the various neighbors in that Baltimore neighborhood when the 3 houses blew up that rushed to the blown up houses to pull out their neighbors that were calling for help. As we close with a video that I did in 2016 to the song "In the Eyes of the Storm," think about the history of Ellicott City in 2016 and all the different people there that were God that day, rescuing those trapped in the floods. Think of where you have found God, even if you don't believe in God.
In the eye of the storm, you remain in control. And in the middle of the war, you guard my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. Your love surrounds me in the eye of the storm. When the solid ground is falling out from underneath my feet, between the black skies and my red eyes, I can barely see. When I realize I've been sold out by my friends and my family, I can feel the rain reminding me. In the eye of the storm, you remain in control. In the middle of the war, you guard my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. Your love surrounds me in the eye of the storm. When my hopes and dreams are far from me and I'm running out of faith, I see the future I picture slowly fade away. And when the tears of pain and heartache are pouring down my face, I find my peace in Jesus' name. In the eye of the storm, you remain in control. In the middle of the war, you guard my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. Your love surrounds me in the eye of the storm. and the doctor says I've only got a few months left. It's like a bitter pill I'm swallowing, I can barely take a breath. And when addiction steals my baby girl and there's nothing I can do, my only hope is to trust you. I trust you, Lord. In the eye of the storm, you remain in control. In the middle of the war, you guard my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. Your love surrounds me. In the eye of the storm, you remain in control. In the middle of the war, you guard my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. Your love surrounds me. In the eye of the storm, Lord, in the eye of, Lord, in the eye of the storm. I know you're watching me, yeah. When the storm is raging, and my hope is gone, Lord. My flesh is failing, you're still holding on.
I look forward to now hearing your reflections on where you have found God. Thank you for joining us for this segment of Emory's Third Thursday program. I will post the link in the chat section where you can join us at Zoom, continue on the discussion. We will have prayers and concerns and then close. Thank you for joining us this evening for this part of the segment, and I look forward to having you jump over to the Zoom where we can continue.